Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Grizz and thank you for checking out Be Your Own QRF. Today I'm going to do a review on probably one of my favorite handguns. This is the Shadow Systems MR920 9mm. So this is the MR920 Combat, I should say. It is same size as a Glock 19. Shadow Systems is an American company out of Plano, Texas, and they use the Glock Gen 4 platform to make these Glock-like pistols. Now, yes, they are very Glock-like. They take Glock magazines. Most of the parts are, you know, Glock type parts. You can pretty much swap anything that's in this gun out for, a factory Glock barrel, stuff like that. Glock sights, pretty much anything. So these, however, if you order these, if you ever get a chance to put your hands on one, you'll quickly notice that even though they are Glock-like, they don't feel like it. So Glocks are notorious for being blocky, uncomfortable. The ergonomics aren't that great. But with Shadow Systems, their idea was to fix all that, to make a Glock-like pistol as far as reliability, accuracy, and consistency, but make it where people actually like holding on to it. And that is the thing. I'm a big Glock fan. I carried Glock in law enforcement for 5 years. I shot Glock in competition for 13 years. I used the Glock for most of that. This, I mean, if I first time picking this thing up, if I had closed my eyes and someone handed this to me, you're like, man, I don't know what that is, but it feels damn nice. If you told me it was a Glock clone pistol or a Glock-like pistol, I would have never ever believed it. So anyway, on to the specifics. It does have an interchangeable backstrap. Comes with 3, but it doesn't so much change the size of the grip, maybe a tiny bit. What it does is it changes the grip angle for you. So if you like that, like 30-degree Glock angle grip, you can keep that one on. This one here keeps it closer to about the 18 degrees that you'll get out of a 1911, which is it's a preferable grip angle. I do understand why Glock has such an aggressive angle. That's so when you're aiming with a Glock, you have to push down this way just a little bit more, and it actually helps you bury a little bit more of that recoil. You have more muscles engaged and keeping the muzzle pointed down a little bit further. Most people, if you hand them a Glock and they're not used to that grip angle, if they close their eyes and they come out with it, they're going to open their eyes, they're going to be pointed up. Kind of like I just was. And I've carried Glocks so long, but I've been carrying this thing and shooting it for the past about a year and a half now. This has been my everyday carry. That when I close my eyes and come out, I'm right on target. If I had a Glock in my hand, I'd be pointing up. So, more specifics. You got a serrated, blacked out rear sight, and you got this really nice Ameriglow H3 front sight with that bright yellow ring on it. It is a tritium night sight as well. You have your rail if you want to throw a light or a laser on there. Not a big fan of lasers. I think they're just for show, unless your eyesight is so bad when you're trying to look at sights, even a red dot, that you just can't pick up the sight here, that you need that red dot to actually be on the target instead of here. Maybe then, Otherwise, lasers are just like tracers, in my opinion. They kind of help give your position away as well. All right, moving on. It has these little shelves with this texturing on it here. And yes, I did make sure the weapon's clear. But yeah, it has these little shelves that has this texturing, and the texturing on this is phenomenal. It's a beautiful texture. It's aggressive enough that the gun doesn't move anywhere, but it's not so aggressive that you can't let go of the damn gun when you want to. It's not going to grate your hand up. Sorry if I keep getting too close. I thought these shelves were a little gimmicky the first time I saw them, until I actually, picked it up and came out here to use it. My index finger, when I'm indexed, Sits right on that. I can feel that texture. I can feel that little shelf, and I know my finger's right where I want it to be, not in the trigger guard, not on the trigger. My support thumb, same thing. It actually sits right on there. So I'm actually kind of sandwiching this gun a little bit right now. And whenever I do need to shoot, I can move my finger down to the trigger. And this kind of just, it helps keep more flesh on the gun, on the textured portions of the gun. And it is really, really nice. Speaking of the trigger, it's breaking at about, I'd say out of the box, it's probably 5 pounds, somewhere around there. But after several hundred rounds through this gun, it has lightened up and polished itself, I'd say, and it's right about 4.5 pounds. The reset is nice and short. It is audible. It is tactile. You can, I can't talk, sorry. It is tactile. You can feel it and hear it, even with hearing protection in. So it's got a really nice trigger. 4-inch or 4.02-inch spiral fluted barrel. That is one of Shadow Systems, trademarks. That's one of the things that draws people in. They also like doing like a burnt bronze barrel on it, which looks really, really nice. I love it. I love the look of it. But I bought this gun because I knew I was going to be carrying it concealed every day. I don't need it to be flashy. For the most part, I also don't like red dots on my everyday carry guns. So, like I said, it comes with Glock magazines, or not Glock mags, it takes Glock mags. It ships with a 15-round, two 15-round Magpul P mags. And it ships with these because Magpul's awesome. A lot of people don't like them. I've never had an issue. I shouldn't say people don't like Magpul. Some people don't like the Magpul Glock P mags. But I've never had an issue with them. I think they run just fine. Shadow Systems decided to use them because this is what they use for all their testing, and they never had an issue with them. So, I'm just going to shoot 5 rounds at this guy's face right now. Nice, slow, steady trigger press. I went from, I just finished doing a video for the Smith & Wesson M&P 10 millimeter and ran a few pretty hot rounds through it. And it, switching from it to the 9 millimeter, I feel like I'm shooting a 22 now. All right. 5 shots, 5 hits, group 4 right here. I did come down a little bit on that one. The gun handles absolutely phenomenally well. You got a really, really high bore axis on it. Like, I should say it's a low bore axis. You can get a really high purchase because of the way the beaver tail is done on this one. It comes up really high, and you can get really high up on this gun, and it allows for very rapid follow-up shots. So I'll go ahead and do 5 more. This time I'm going to do them a little bit faster. I did it again. I don't care. All right. There's 5 more. Weapon is clear and decked. All right, 5 more rounds, a little faster. I got at least 1 more in there. And which one was this? That first one that I hit a little bit low? I think it was. So got 3 here, and then 2 more in there. I don't believe I missed any, but from the angle I'm shooting at right here, they're all good hits. That one that was low in the jaw would probably by itself not be enough to stop a serious threat. All right, so I know he's got a bunch of holes in his face. Now I'm going to run the whole little shoot house that I got going here. I'm going to keep the 5 rounds in this mag and put a spare mag in my pocket. I don't have a mag pouch on me, otherwise I would just use it. So you're not going to see me until I get out here, but I'm going to engage this target and this one. I'm just going to do 2 to the chest for each one, I think. I don't know, I might get carried away and fire more. I got 2 back here, and then I have 1 right here. This guy ends up becoming visible about the same time as these 2, so you end up having to transition pretty fast. Of course, I'll end up running out of ammo at some point, so I'm going to need to remember to get behind cover and reload my weapon. That's the thing I'll watch during a lot of these competition shoots. If it's a combat-based competition shoot, I'll see so many people run dry, and wherever they're standing is where they'll reload. Get behind cover whenever it's time to reload, unless cover is not available, obviously. Empty. I thought I had 5 left. Index. Oh, I would have had 5 left, but the one I pulled out of the chamber after that last round, I forgot to put back in the magazine. Ha! All right, come with me. So, 2 rounds in the first target. Excellent. Absolutely excellent, considering those rounds were fired from right here. Then I stepped out, stopped here, leaned out, fired 2 more, took a step back and reloaded, came out. You probably see me come into frame about right here, engaged that guy, 2 rounds to the first one here. The second one I fired 1, I saw it hit center mass, came over to this guy, fired 2, and then re-engaged him. So 2 here, 2 here, reloaded. I fired 1, or yeah, I hit him 3 times. This is the one I fired. I saw that hit, so then I switched the other target and came back to him afterwards. The 2 I fired at this guy are both chest hits. Shadow Systems knocked this one out of the park. I first learned of this company from John Lovell from the Warrior Poet Society. If you've never checked out his YouTube channel, you should. I'll try to remember to put a link down in the description for it. Absolutely fantastic channel. And also go over and check out, he's got a streaming service, the Warrior Poet Society Network, WPSN. And they are phenomenal. They have all sorts of training videos on there. Pistol, tactical rifle, long range shooting with Ryan Kleckner, by far one of my favorite instructional videos. Even though I've been shooting for a while, I still learned so much from that man. Thank you, Ryan. But let's go ahead and load up a few of these special little rounds. Okay, so I wanted to test fire some of these. They are from Underwood Ammo. This is a 147 grain plus P hard cast lead flat nose, and it has I think they're calling it the high tech coating. It's a kind of a poly, I think it might be a polypropylene coating on it to prevent fouling in your barrel. These are supposed to be safe to fire from most barrels. If you're not sure if it's safe to fire out of, if you have a Glock with polygonal rifling, check with Underwood. Give them a call or send them an email. Make sure it's safe to fire out of your specific firearm. The Shadow Systems MR920 does not have Glock-like rifling in their guns. But that's supposed to be a nice, hot, round in 9mm, designed for defense against big game, dangerous animals. I don't believe it was Underwood. I think it was Double Tap or Buffalo Boar, but there was a fishing guide in Alaska that used a very similar round to kill a 400-pound grizzly that actually ended up charging him and the people that he was with. He had a little Smith & Wesson, a numbered model. I don't remember what number, but that little Smith & Wesson, he fired 6 shots from it, and he killed this grizzly before it did any harm to him or his guys. But I'm just going to test fire 3 rounds of this at about, it's maybe 7 or 8 yards here. This target in the back on the right. Gonna go right for that T-square. I just want to see how stout it is. I've fired it before, but how accurate it is. That's pretty stout. It actually makes it feel like a, like a 40 caliber, gold dot or something. That's a nice hot little round. All right, so I did forget to say those 3 rounds I fired back here at this guy with that that Underwood hard cast. We'll run one right here in the nose, and then in the head right there. So not bad shot placement. I think standard FMJ does group a little bit tighter out of this gun at that distance, but all right. So what I'm going to do now is I have 2 mags. This one has an unknown number of Blazer brass. I don't know, it feels like maybe 6 or 7 rounds. And then I threw 10 rounds of Magtech 115. No, not Magtech, sorry. This is Fiocchi Range Dynamics 115 grain FMJ. So I'm going to run this little scenario here one more time, but I'm going to run it as fast as I can, considering my fingers are damn near frozen and I can barely move them. But it's good practice, because in a life or death situation, you get what's called vascular constriction, and the blood will leave your small extremities, your small body parts, and flood to your major muscle groups. It's part of your body's fight or flight reflex, physiology 101. Same thing happens when you're cold, but instead of it going to the large muscle groups, it goes to your organs. All that extra blood goes to your major organs to keep them a little bit warmer, to keep you from surviving. Yeah, to keep you surviving. Oh, man. Trying to talk faster than my brain can run right now. Cold. All right. So I'll run this as fast as I can. I'm not going to count my shots. I'm just going to engage each target until I feel that sufficient rounds have been placed in sufficient places to stop what would be a possible threat. Empty. Index. Oh, that's fun. All right, now I know my grouping was not as good with that one. I was running that much, much faster. So, came around, engaged this guy with, I don't know how many shots. He only had 2 in him before. Now he's got 5. 1 here, 1 here, 1 there. He wasn't even looking at me. Probably shouldn't even shot him. He only had 2 in him. Now he's got 5. Excuse me. Come over here. He already had 3 in his head from that dangerous game defense load, and he had 3 in his chest. So I got him with 4 more upper thoracic. This guy only had 2, so I did get him with 3 more. Winged him over here, here and here. Not the best grouping. And this guy only had 2. Now he has 4. Again, I didn't count my shots. I don't know how many how many I was supposed to have in them. When I watch the video later and I do my editing, I'm sure I'll probably put some text above it and tell you how many rounds I fired, so how many times I missed. I do miss. It happens. So, yeah. Get this back out here. There we go. So that pretty much wraps this one up. It's a review of the Shadow Systems MR920 Combat. This is not the optic ready model again. That's just how I prefer my everyday carry pistol. I don't know. Some people like red dots. I like red dots. I keep one on my 10mm, but for my everyday carry, I like bare bones. This size is perfect for me. Oh, and if you've not seen it before, let me show you what I carry it in. This is a DeSantis Slim Tuck holster inside the waistband. And they are nice, really nice holsters. Snaps in there, does not come out. And what's real nice is if you're wanting to, I got you angled up quite a bit here. If you're wanting to conceal your weapon, but you have to dress a little bit more formal, if you got to tuck your shirt in, that's what this is designed for. Your shirt actually tucks in behind the belt loop here, so it makes it where the only thing visible when this is being worn as such is this belt clip. The gun's under your shirt, the holster's under your pants. The clip is the only thing you can see. They're pretty nice. They're actually quite comfortable. They're sturdy, and they're affordable. I picked that one up for like $25 or something like that. But that wraps up our review for today. Next time I come out, I'm going to talk a little bit more about home defense and home defense options. Because one conversation that I always like getting into with people is, what is the best home defense platform? Because there's no real answer. We will get into that in the next video, and I'm even going to demonstrate how a 22 can be a very viable self-defense option in your home or out. Until next time, practice well, practice hard, and practice safe. Take care.